All right, welcome back, everybody. I'm Gerald, and I'm a Star Wars fanatic. And obviously, you all like Star Wars too. Looks like we got about 15 people in. That's awesome. That is so cool. Don't forget to vote on the poll that I have up. It is, how do you like the Bad Batch so far? And let me know how you think of it. It's amazing. It's fun entertainment. It sucks Kowakian monkey lizard. Or the bad what? Those are your options. Sorry. I could have added more, I guess, but I did not. Anyways, welcome back to another live stream. This is a celebration of the 25,000 subscriber mark. I promised everybody I would do this back when I hit 10 or 12,000. The 10,000 subscriber mark was a big celebration as well, as so was the 5,000 subscriber mark. And I hope to continue celebrating, although it probably won't be in the same way that this one and the past two have been. In this one, I will be doing one shot of my favorite Kentucky vintage at the beginning, one in the middle, and then it's up to you guys whether I do more shots or not. And I will get into those rules here in just a little bit. Who all we got in here? We got Indiana Holmes. Thank you, Indiana. I appreciate that. Yeah, DR 50K next. Gothic Cane Man, good to see you. Knut the Nerd. And we got the Islamic and Dale Erdman, Miranda Alicia. I hope I said that right. Oh, yes, I will. All right, so if you guys didn't see it, if you weren't here for the other two celebrations, I have my special shot glass that I use for this occasion. And that shot glass is, let's make sure I don't spill it all over my keyboard. It is my Journeyman Protector shot glass. Where's the middle? The middle will be at the 30-minute mark, Dale. Hey, Sydney, good to see you. And Dawn, welcome back. All right, now I wore my special shirt for this, so hopefully I don't spill anything on. So, first shot, everybody ready? Just say yo. Waiting for the yo's. Waiting for the yo's. Then this thing's going to be bottoms up. Still pickled from the last 2 days. Yeah, I'm celebrating today. My wife is celebrating tomorrow when we go out to dinner. So I will wait on that. Cheers. Yo. Hey. Here we go. First shot down. And these are big shots, y'all, if you didn't know. Smooth. Smooth as a baby's bottom. All right, so I got a lot lined up for today. We will be announcing the winner of the 25,000 subscriber mark, and that is shipping paid. You don't have to pay anything. You just get this amazing figure. Oh, I didn't even put it up here. But if you guys saw the preview before signing on, it is a Sideshow Collectibles 12-inch Stormtrooper Remnant from the Mandalorian. Yeah. What's special about the glass? I don't know. I just like it to be special. I call it special. It's my special glass. There's also some other things I want to get into today. There's a lot going on in Star Wars. And I really want to talk about some of that. And wow, that first shot warmed me up a little bit. Woohoo! Yeah, so Nathan Wall, hey, good to see you. Aaron Emerson, who else did I miss? Tahua Ravenous. Finally made it to alive. All right. Yeah, so as much as going on with Star Wars, there's also a lot going on with this channel. That's the first thing I really want to talk about. You guys may have noticed the shift in the way I'm doing things in my videos. For a long time, and I put this in my Discord. Let me just repeat what I put in my Discord. It makes a little more sense when I say it. It's not too long, so just bear with me. All right, the truth is I've watched a lot of other Star Wars YouTubers over the years, and I thought that was the way Star Wars YouTube should be, the way the other people are doing it. And for 3 years, I tried to emulate that, but it felt off to me. I wasn't being true to myself. I'm a jokester. I'm quirky and a little strange, in a good way. So recently I've decided that that's who I'm going to be in my videos, myself. If people are looking for someone to just read off Wikipedia in a video, that's good for them. But that's not my channel, and my channel isn't for them. Me, I'm going to be who I am. It's something I've struggled with for the last 3 years. That's why live streams are so important to me. I get to be who I am. So let's shake up the Star Wars fandom and make Star Wars fun again. F the haters. That's what I got to say about that. So if you haven't noticed my videos, I've been adding a little bit more of my own personality into the videos, not just sitting there like, oh my God, Luke Skywalker slashed a guy. That's not who I am. I can't be like everybody else, and I'm getting a little bit of criticism for it, but a lot of positivity in regards to it as well. So yeah, I'm just adding some more of myself into my videos. I'm being myself, being a little quirky, a little weird, because that's who I am. And as y'all can see, I put Jeff back there right behind me. He's my little guardian. He's gonna, well, not little, he's about 6 feet tall, but he's going to protect me throughout this and make sure I don't stumble and fall. Monotone voice. Yeah, I talk with a monotone voice. So I'm trying to add a little bit more excitement into my videos, my streams, and all that. And I was so afraid that people wouldn't accept me for who I was, that I need to be like the other big YouTubers that just sat there and talked. I don't want to do that. I like talking. I like talking about Star Wars. I like making jokes too. And some of my video, I mean, the intros are a little bit lengthy, and I understand that. And I understand people don't like that kind of stuff, that they want to see me get into the meat and potatoes. Well, sorry, but maybe TikTok's better for them, if they just want the short gist of it, or YouTube Shorts or something like that. But I don't do many YouTube Shorts for a reason. It's because I'm long-winded and I like to talk. So there's that. Oh, thanks, DR. I appreciate it. Oh, thanks, Tahua. I appreciate that. And Jen to the Zen. If everybody didn't know, that is my wife. She is very supportive. She is 100% supportive, other than she's really glad I'm doing this in the afternoon and not at 10 a.m. like I did the other two. That kind of ruined my whole day, I think. Yeah. And Brandon Deeks, thank you. I really appreciate that. So without further ado, I do want to get into who won the raffle. And this is totally random. I was as surprised with the name that popped up as anybody else is gonna be, because, I mean, this person's been a great contributor to the channel, been helping out a lot of our people in the channel, a lot of you guys, a lot of you viewers. So without further ado, I don't see his name in here. So if anybody knows this person's contact or Discord or Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, anything, it is Patrick Dubé. Big supporter of the channel, and I appreciate him so much. I hope he is here. I don't see his name anywhere out there, but congratulations, man. You deserve it. I did put it in a random name generator. It took me quite a while to do that, because I'm technologically stupid. And there's that. I'm surprised the sound's working, honestly. My mic's actually working. So, enjoy the way you've been recently, been doing your videos. It's a break from... Oh, thank you. Thank you, Aaron. I really appreciate that. That means a lot. I really didn't want to be like everybody else, and I've been doing that for 3 years, and it's really been burning me up because, I mean, yeah, I've grown, but it isn't always about the growth. It's about being comfortable with yourself. And I wasn't comfortable with myself just being some run-of-the-mill Star Wars guy. I don't want to be that guy. I want to be the person I am. And people at work honestly helped me out with that too. One person in particular, he said, you know, dude, you're a funny guy. He said, you're witty. You come up with stuff off the top of your head very quickly, and you make us all laugh like crazy. Why don't you do that in your videos? And I thought about it, and I thought, well, in my videos, I really don't have anybody to bounce it off of. I've just got me. It's just me. But now I've realized, hey, I don't need anybody to bounce it off of. I mean, there's plenty of funny things in Star Wars that I can make jokes about. And just because I make jokes about it doesn't mean I don't like it. I make jokes about everything. I make jokes about people I love. I make jokes about movies and music I love. I switch song lyrics because I think they're funny, and sometimes they're inappropriate, but they are funny. And let me get to Damien sorry. Speech is already slurring. That's hilarious. Question: is it possible you can make a video if Disney should make a sequel to Star Wars Return of the Jedi? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. And yes, I would love to see a sequel to Return of the Jedi. I don't like calling it Disney doing it. Maybe I'm in a little bit of denial. I'd still like calling it Lucasfilm, just like I like calling it Pixar and not Disney, but maybe it's a little bit of denial where I feel like Star Wars is still in control of itself. But yes, I would like to see a sequel to Return of the Jedi, or at least a spin-off of it, if that makes sense. A sequel would have to renumber 7, 8, and 9. And don't get me started on 7, 8, and 9. You guys are going to hate me if I talk about that. Yeah, here we go, Aaron. Oh, Knut, you've already started the ball. Let me get into the rules of this drinking thing, all right? So, in the past, what I've done is for every 3 donations in the super chat I've done another shot. On top of the 2 that I'm planning on doing today. I've done one more shot for every 3 donations. Well, today it's going to be different. Today it's going to be for every $15 donated, I'll do another shot. That may limit it, but I'm only going to limit myself to 5 shots and not the 6 or 7 I'd done previously. I don't know how I made it out of those live streams. One of them I cut off before I even finished my exit. Yeah, I remember the last time, DR. I wound up going up and doing some drywall work in my bathroom and don't remember it. Obviously, I did a pretty good job because, Jinda the Zen Yoga there, she didn't yell at me for it or complain about it. Not that she yells at me. She never yells at me. But she didn't say anything bad about the work. So I was pretty happy for that one. But yeah, so that's the way it's going to go. Knut, I don't know how much your currency is in American money, so let me take a look at that. Let me do a little bit of converting here. If I can get my mouse to work right. In US dollars. All right, so we got our first almost $5 tip. So awesome. That's one step toward a shot. And trust me, guys, I do want to do shots. I just don't want to bring it upon myself to make those shots happen frequently. Yeah, it was super lit last time. I got kind of crazy on that one and started just zoning out a little bit. All right, so again, Patrick Dubé, if you have joined us at any time, you are the winner, and that will be shipped straight to you from our donor, not like an organ donor. I don't know anybody that donates organs while they're alive. If you guys do, then you may want to keep that to yourself because I think there's a whole black market rule on that or something. I don't know. Anyways, so let's go over some of the things we want to talk about today. Hey, John January, good to see you. Have I ever checked out the Star Wars Legion tabletop game? I have checked it out, and I have also checked out the price of it, and that is out of my budget, especially for a game that I'd probably be playing by myself. I don't know many people that would join in on that. Then is the tyrant laughing. Think I'd enjoy them. I would enjoy them. I know I would. I've watched people at the comic book store play them because they do these little group things and play them and everything, and I don't know that I fit into their nerdery, so I didn't ask them if I could try it out. Okay, I got it. Thanks, Knut. Flying stands for Black Series Dudes and Dudette. Nice. So yeah, a couple things we're going to talk about today, and these are topics you can all discuss in the live chat as well. First, we're bringing up Bo-Katan seeming to be devious. Why do you think she is devious? And why do you think she is not devious? You guys know my opinion if you've seen my latest videos. Dr. Pershing, becoming a Dr. Octopus type of mad scientist. Think about it. Makes sense. The guy's super lovable. I just want to hug him and, rub his ear for him or get him a Q-tip or something. But think about it. How was Doc Ock before he became Dr. Octopus? Djarin never wavering on his faith, although he has met other Mandalorians with different views. He still holds his creed dear to his chest. We'll be talking about plenty of Mandalorian lore, how Grand Admiral Thrawn fits into all of this, and let's face it, let's just talk about Grand Admiral Thrawn in general because the guy's a badass. And how you like the Bad Batch so far. I see we've got 54 votes so far, with It's Fun Entertainment in the lead with 48%. It's Amazing with 41%. The Bad What at 7%. And It Sucks Kowakian Monkey Lizard at 4%. If you don't know what a Kowakian Monkey Lizard is, just think Salacious Crumb from Return of the Jedi in Jabba's palace. The little annoying thing. Resin 3D printer for a Star Wars collector fan. It's a must. Yes, I've been actually talking to my wife about that in the past, but right now we have some budget issues that we're trying to take care of before I go purchasing anything else large. Crosshair is definitely carrying this show, DR. I will agree with that. Beskar swords, were they a thing? I'm not sure that they were a thing, but we do know that there was a spear made of Beskar, so I don't see why swords would not. But in the same time, as the armor said, Beskar weaponry is outlawed because it can pierce Beskar and be used against Mandalorians. So maybe not. Hey, Fatherly Fandom, good to see you, buddy. Hey, I love your channel, man. I was checking it out earlier. Actually, Dawn in our little live chat here, she's the one who pointed me in your direction. Talked about how super positive you are and how I'd like your channel, and I do. And I appreciate what you do, man. Bo's not being devious. Her whole world has been turned upside down. She is confused and needs time to figure it all out. Agreed. 100%. Agreed. All right, so we're still about, what, $10 off from the donations for another shot. I've got my bottle of stuff. I'll cover up the name, but it's a bottle of stuff. And normally, I don't do shots of bourbon normally. Normally, bourbon is a sipping drink, and I do like to sip my old fashions. But today, I'm making a special occasion and just doing a couple shots. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Fatherly Fandom. I appreciate that. We're going to do a live stream sometime together. Everybody just give a big thumbs up if you want that to happen. If you haven't checked out his channel, jump over there and check it out. I said it faster than you could type. I'm not sure what we're talking about. Oh, we'll see the X-Wing for sure. Sorry, just reading all you guys' thoughts here. Anyway, so let's start with the first topic. Bo-Katan seeming to be devious, since that's one that we're talking about. Me, myself, I do not think she's devious. She has never been devious, other than when she was with Death Watch, and that was in her teens. And at that time, as a spoiled brat princess teen, she's going to follow some unsavory characters, such as Pre Vizsla. She's going to join organizations that just to piss her parents off, just because it's fun. Just because teens like to do that to their parents. They like annoying us. They like making us worry and stress. And I don't see any other way to stress a parent out than to join some fanatic, I won't want to say religion, but fanatic organization that's bent on terrorism. So Bo-Katan did that for a very short time. Then she split from them and went informed the Night Owls. Well, the Night Owls were already kind of a thing, but she took the Night Owls with her, and they became their own little organization. She even helped her sister. She helped Sabine. She forgave Sabine for Sabine's transgressions, which were creating a machine or weapon that would cook Mandalorians in their armor. Bo-Katan forgave her for that. Had Bo-Katan been devious, she had multiple opportunities throughout this season to take the Darksaber away from Djarin. He was on a roast. He was getting on a spit, getting roasted, and she could have taken the Darksaber then after she hacked up the weird claw machine robot guy. When he fell into the water, she could have let him sink and drown. He only had 2 hours of oxygen supplied by his armor, and once that ran out, he would have drowned, and she could have just walked away with it and said, nah, you know, he fell in battle by me. I took him out. It's mine now. I rule you guys. But she did not do that. In season 2, yeah, she seemed a little irked that he had the Darksaber, but she could have challenged him right then. She could have challenged him as soon as Grogu went off to be with Luke Skywalker. She could have challenged Djarin right then, and she probably would have been able to take it from him. As we can see, that she's a better badass than he is. He kind of gets his ass kicked a couple times. This is going to happen. Yeah, it would be surprising if I'm wrong. And I mean, there's still the chance that she can challenge Djarin, but challenges don't always come in the form of hate or some kind of miscreant thought. It's, let me get a shot at it and see if I can get it back. If I can get it back, cool. I don't have to kill you. I just have to disarm you. As we saw when Djarin and Paz Vizsla fought over the Darksaber, he didn't kill Paz Vizsla. He just disarmed him and made him yield. So Bo-Katan could do the same thing, and then they still remain friends. Like, best man won, cool. Kind of like at the end of a American or European football game, when you win or lose, you go shake the hand of the opponent and you say, good game. Yes, the armorer does seem like the devious one. But at the same time, did anybody notice how familiar she seemed with Bo-Katan? Paz Vizsla hadn't made it in there before Djarin and Bo-Katan, and the armorer turns and says, and you, Bo-Katan, you are forgiven. You are a Mandalorian. You're welcome to join our covert. You can leave anytime you want. And where everybody knows your name. All right, never mind. That was stupid. Maybe little Ragnar steals the Darksaber when Din's in the shower and Grogu chases him down. Is that the kid's name, Ragnar? That'd be interesting. Yeah, that could be the case too, Aaron. Yes, the armor is the one wearing the Maul helmet. Yeah, the claw creature kind of did have a little bit of a Grievous look to him, only Grievous couldn't separate his head and run off. Yep. Still looking for those super chats, guys. My little glass is empty. I mean, I only got 7 minutes till the next shot anyway, so it's up to you guys. I'm not begging for money. I'm just trying to celebrate. Celebrate. All right. I don't know the words. I'm not even going to do it. Ursa Rook and Ursa, about the same age group. Rook Cast and Ursa? I think that's what you meant. Yeah, I'm pulling for Rook Cast, because Rook Cast was kind of an evil person. Not evil, but she was more in tune with the wants of Maul. She followed him till the bitter end. And she even helped rescue him from the Citadel, from, what's his face? Palpatine, Papa Palpatine. That's right, Indiana. I just want to do another shot. That's all it is. Yep. Thank you, Turkey. I'm not going to repeat that, but that's pretty funny. Uh-oh, there's another 5 from Fatherly Fandom. 5 to go. And it's another shot time. Whew, what a day. I almost wasn't able to. I don't get everything together for the live stream. I wanted to change the look of it. As you guys can see, there's a little bit of background and some other stuff, borders around it, different than what I used to do. And then I messed up the whole thing and couldn't get my 4K camera to be 4K. It was wanting to do 1080p the whole time, and I was kind of upset about that. And sat here for like 2.5 hours fixing this stuff, and it was just driving me insane. Guess I can go ahead and get the shot ready since it's only 5 minutes from now. Make sure I cover up the label because they do not sponsor me. Who sponsors me? Me sponsors me. I sponsors me. I sponsor me. I sponsor me because I pay the bills. I pay for the stuff. And if anybody else sponsors me, it's Jinda the Zen Yoga, the fabulous wife, who helps take care of this business. So if you guys haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button. We are on a healthy journey to hit 50,000 subscribers within the next, I don't know, 6 years or something. And I want you all to be a part of that. And I don't just say that in all my videos because it's something fun to say. I say it because I really do want you all to be a part of that. I'm not just building a YouTube channel here. I'm building a community. And that's why I do the live streams, so we can commune, so we can talk, so we can talk about the issues, talk about Star Wars, because I love talking about Star Wars, and I love talking about it with Star Wars fans. Talking about it with people who know nothing about Star Wars is just kind of dumb. It just makes me feel bad for them. I feel bad for people who don't know anything about Star Wars. That's pretty sad, isn't it? We should have a moment of silence for them. Anyways, hit the subscribe button, and you can turn on your notifications if you want to. You don't have to, but go ahead and hit the like button. That would be much appreciated. Let's get this thing out there where people are like, hey, check this guy out. He's pretty cool. They don't all have to be hillbillies or rednecks either. Some of them can be educated. A lot of them can be educated if they want. Yeah. But yeah, go ahead and do that. Subscribe, like, share, comment. My parents' basement. Oh, that's cute. No. If I lived with my parents at 50 years old, I probably wouldn't be living anymore. Yeah, because, oh, well, that went dark. I don't want to say that. I would not live in my parents' basement at 50 years old. It's taken me years to build this collection, most of it over the last 6 years. And this is my man cave, entertainment room type thing. Announced another Mando will show up, we all know from Rebels. Please be Fenn Rau. Please be Fenn Rau. I'd love to see Fenn Rau in live action. Who is chasing Ezra? Who is with Thrawn? Interesting. I haven't heard anything about that. And if you guys didn't know, I do watch other Star Wars YouTubers, but I don't do it until after I get my thoughts out about each episode. There's a reason for that. It isn't because I don't like them or I think they're stupid or anything like that. It's nothing like that. It's because I want my videos to be fresh. And also, I don't want to be spoiled. I don't want a YouTuber saying, this leak came out and it's from a 100% reliable source. Even if it isn't from a 100% reliable source, I don't want that filtering into my content. I want my brain to be fresh. When I watch each episode, I want it to be fresh. I'm starting to get to the point where I don't even watch trailers anymore, because I just want to go in like, oh, that's neat, or man, that sucked. Yeah, I'd love to see Fenn Rau in live action, and I've been saying that for years, ever since Rebels. I was like, man, we need to bring him to live action. That guy was so cool. Just think about it. Protectors of Concord Dawn in live action. Yeah. And there it is, Aaron. You're making it where I got to do two shots at once. Oh, alrighty. Well, bottoms up. Yeah. Ooh. That one tingled a little. Let me get the next one ready. Honey, if you're still in this live chat, it's going to be an interesting night. Yeah, and not just that. I do check out a lot of smaller YouTubers and people trying to make a name for themselves. Sorry, I just totally Dr. Pershing to myself. Um, I, I check out a lot of smaller channels. Those are mostly who I watch because I like supporting them. Not that the other ones don't need support. They've got plenty of support. They don't need me. Um, but I like watching a lot of the smaller channels. But some of the smaller channels come out with some of the most ridiculous ideas too. I say some, not all. Okay, it's the halfway mark. Bottoms up again. It's gonna get real, y'all. What is huge? Dobby, are you just joining us? Yes. Huge is the way I've changed the way I do my videos. That's one thing. Another thing is the fact that Bo-Katan is not what we thought she was at the end of season two. Um, whew, man, I drank it like a champ, but wow, y'all are going to get some slurred speeches there in a little bit. Um, yeah, so the huge part is the Mandalorian. The biggest thing to me in the Mandalorian season three is how much different it is than the other two. The other two seasons. The other two seasons were set up like the old samurai serials or the old Western serials, Lone Wolf and Cub, and that sort of thing, where each week was a different adventure that eventually blended into the bigger story. Let's say The Incredible Hulk from the 1970s, or it was just called The Hulk with Bill Bixby, where every week he was meeting a different town folk, helping them out, turning into the Hulk, ripping the place apart, and leaving, and then showing up at a new town, which the whole time there was a government scientist trying to catch him, and that's the way it turned out. If you need a more modern iteration of that, it would be Poker Face. If you haven't watched that show, it's pretty good, actually. Um, what's her name? Leone. She does a really good job at it. But anyway, so this season of The Mandalorian's different. So far, 3 episodes have all gone together in one fluid storyline. He hasn't stopped to help any villagers. He hasn't stopped to rescue anybody. He hasn't stopped to meet new faces and that sort of thing. I think we've met all the new faces we're going to get. Most of them, not all of them, but as far as side characters such as Miggs Mayfeld, Grief Karga, what's his name, Cobb Vanth. Please bring that guy back. I love Cobb Vanth. Um, yes, 70s Hulk and Spider-Man are definitely necessary viewing. So what's huge about it is the way the stories are shifting in The Mandalorian from one of serials to one of a fluid storyline. Yes, there was a side story of Dr. Pershing, but that's going to come into play. And that brings me to my next topic of Dr. Pershing becoming a Dr. Octopus type of character. Where in the beginning, when he first got rehabilitated and brought to the New Republic, you thought, man, I just want to give this guy a hug and a Q-tip, you know? I just want to say, it's going to be all right, buddy, and pat him on the back, you know? And because you felt for him, you felt really bad for the guy, and it almost had an Andor feel to it. And now he's being mind flayed because of good old Elia Kane. Um, yeah, that's just a theory. I know it's probably not Eli Vanto. I get that. That's just one of my total fringe theories. Um, so remember Doctor Octopus in the beginning of which one was it? Spider-Man 2, where the same thing. You felt bad for the guy. He lost his wife and he was all sad and everything. You just wanted to give him a hug, pat him on the back, and say, "It's gonna be all right, little buddy." Same thing with Dr. Pershing. You just want to hug him. But now he's being mind flayed. And it's not going to kill him. It's not going to wipe his memory. That's not going to happen. It's going to turn him bitter against the New Republic. He didn't see who did that. He didn't see who turned it up to 11. All he knows is that he was lied to by the fish face guy. And yes, I know they're called Mon Calamari. Um, he was lied to by him, but he had the goggles on and couldn't see who turned it up. By the way, Who leaves that kind of machinery unattended with one sketchy person who used to be with the Empire left in the room with them? Does that make sense? That I will make fun of. Yeah, kind of a standalone, but at the end, it's going to make sense because, in my feelings and my theory and everything, is that this is too intricate of a plan for Grand Moff Tarkin. Tarkin couldn't have done this all just to himself. Or not Tarkin, Grand Moff Gideon. Man, got Tarkin on the brain for some reason. Grand Moff Gideon didn't do this. This was too intricate. Gideon's off trying to save his own ass and trying to build his own little fleet. He didn't really have. He had a command ship. That was about it. But this is Thrawn. This seems more like Thrawn. And we all can say Thrawn isn't that evil. Thrawn's an antagonist in the books and all that. And right, we're being shown Thrawn's perspective in the books. But if you remember the old Heir to the Empire novels and all of that, Thrawn was not a good guy. He'd shoot his own Imperial officers right in the back. He was very, very, I don't know how to say it, maniacal. How about that? Maniacal. Not monocle. He didn't wear a monocle. He wasn't the Monopoly guy or the Monopoly guy of the whole Mandela effect. He was maniacal, and I think we're going to see more of that of Thrawn. But eventually, Thrawn is going to come around. He's going to need the New Republic. He's going to need the new people: Luke Skywalker, Ahsoka Tano, Boba Fett, Djarin, Bo-Katan, the whole Mandalorian squad, as they did in the Legends novels. They're going to need that to fight the Grisk, who are the new Yuuzhan Vong. That's my own theory. And I have met with, I didn't meet with, we didn't have coffee and a bagel or anything. But me and Timothy Zahn did have a little conversation at one of the comic expos. And I mean, surprisingly, we were alone. Nobody was hounding him. It was just me and him, and we did have a little conversation. He let me in on a couple things, and I promised I wouldn't say anything till they aired, and I've already let a couple things leak out. So forgive me, Timothy Zahn. I apologize for that. But these theories of mine are just theories. They are not from Timothy Zahn. All I know that I will say here is that Thrawn's in live action. He's going to be in live action. We all pretty much assume that without any official confirmation from Disney, but he's going to be in live action. And whether it's in the Mandalorian Season 3, which I think will come at the end of Mandalorian Season 3, or the Ahsoka Tano series. And it's going to happen. If you want to get contact with Patrick, just go to his newest comment, remove a heart, and heart it again, and send a comment. DR, why don't you go on there and send him a comment? Thrawn from the books is better than the one from this series, old and new. He seems more deep in the books. He is, and it's because they have a lot more time to explore his character and who he is in the books. I'm loving the books. I'm almost done with the second... the second of the second series. I need to drink some water. My mouth's getting dry. Yeah, I'm not done with that Mercurian, if I said that right. I'm not done with him yet. I was thinking about adding maybe some side thigh armor, not front thigh armor, but from the sides, because I thought that looked pretty cool on one character I've seen. I'm not adding shin armor because he's got some pretty tall boots, and I like the way they look. And that dangling around his neck, if anybody didn't notice it, is a Rancor tooth that was handmade by someone. What if Boba Fett got... That was one of my theories way back when. Boba Fett getting the Darksaber and becoming Mandalore and then destroying the Darksaber because it was too divisive. I still hold on to that theory. I still love that theory. But the way Lucasfilm's going right now, it's dwindling my hope for it. Yeah, all right, DR, I'll do that. I'll check it out and I'll let him know. I wish he was here. I don't know what time zone he's in, though. I know he lives in Canada somewhere. 19 kilometers long. Wow, that's big. She left with Ahsoka after the destruction of Mandalore. Okay. Wonder how Sabine Wren will have potentially... Sorry, my vision's starting to get a little blurred. Changed after the destruction of Mandalore. She always took things very personally and had a direct role in what happened before its destruction. Yes, especially after she redeemed herself after the whole Duchess thing. She really got back into Mandalorian culture. If you remember, before she redeemed herself, she just wore the armor really and didn't really want anything to do with Mandalorians during that time. The fact that most of the trailer scenes have been seen in the show to me means they have a surprise coming for the 5th episode to the finale. Yeah, I think that too. I've watched the trailer one time, I think. Maybe two. I do put it in some of my videos, but I don't put the whole trailer in there. I put the parts of the trailer in it that I know have already been shown. So yeah, I think that too. I think we're gonna get something big coming from this. Yeah, I mean, Price was not Governor Price was not the person to team up with for Thrawn. She was kind of incompetent and a little arrogant. Thrawn is a little arrogant as well, but I think his is more of confidence and a little bit of cockiness than arrogance. There's a difference in those. 3:40 p.m. Wow, Minnesota. Anybody here from Montana? That's one of my goals. I really want to get to Montana, not just because of the TV series Yellowstone, but because Montana just looks beautiful, and I want to go there. And I want to go to the Crazy Mountains. I'm kind of nuts like that. I just want to go to the Crazy Mountains, even if I only go like 10 feet in. I can say I've been to the Crazies. Hey, thanks, Black Crow Volume 2. I appreciate that. And in fact, it is the most of the armor is repurposed Boba Fett armor that someone else had owned at one time, and I just changed it up a little bit. I'm thinking about taking the Journeyman Protector badge off, but then again, who knows? I might keep it on there just because the guy's a badass. And I'm thinking about taking the cape off as well and replacing it with fur. I think fur would look cool on it. You can never have too much fur. Kind of like Diddy when he was in Get Him to the Greek. I'm going to line my walls with fur. Cover the outside of my house with wolf fur or something. Florida Keys. Nice. So you're getting some good weather. Idaho. Oh, finally met somebody from Idaho. Never met anybody from Idaho. I was wondering if the place actually existed. Yeah, there is a jetpack on him. You just can't see it because of the way he's facing. Um, it's a Boba Fett jetpack actually, and I do have the plate over it because my character is a long descendant of Boba Fett, so that's why the armor's familiar, like Boba Fett's, and with some minor changes or whatever. Sorry, I get a little parched when I've been drinking a little bit. Wow, we only have 17 minutes left and nobody else has made me drink. I was really hoping to get some slurred speech, but that didn't happen. Oregon. Ooh, that sounds nice. I know I didn't get to the other topics. We have talked about some Mandalorian lore and Grand Admiral Thrawn, how he fits into this, and how you like the Bad Batch. So I'm going to cast my vote if I'm allowed to. I don't know if I'm allowed to or not. My mouse is in sleep mode. It won't let me cast my vote. My vote for the Bad Batch is it's fun entertainment. And I'll tell you why. Because the best episodes to me have been the ones about Crosshair. Crosshair and other clones. Not so much the rest of the Bad Batch, Hunter, Wrecker, Tech, and Omega. I was really hoping to get more into Omega's story. And I mean, we're, what, 13 episodes in, and we still don't have that. We, sure, we get little hints of things, but we don't get much more than that. I think I've seen those, Mercarian. Arizona. Completely live in Las Vegas. Wow, that's awesome. Currently live in Las Vegas. Currently live in Las. You gotta excuse me. 3 shots in. Yeah. So, where was I? God dang it. Anyways, the Crosshair thing. Crosshair has been the most interesting character to me ever since season 1. And this season, we've only had, what, 2 episodes with Crosshair in it? It's kind of disconcerting. I want to know what's going on with the guy. California. Nice. Yeah, Mega and friends. I want to know what's going on with the guy. We've only had 2 episodes out of 13 dealing with him and the larger story of the Republic changing into the Empire and clones being phased out. I'm hoping these last 3 episodes dig more into that, and I'm sure the finale is going to change my mind. The finale is probably going to bump me up somewhere between its fun entertainment and its amazing. That's just the way Dave Filoni is. If you go back and watch the Clone Wars, you'll see there are a lot of episodes of the Clone Wars you just kind of fast forward through. And there's a lot of episodes of Rebels where you're like, okay, like the whole spider bit, you know, like on, I forget the planet, Chopper Base. You're just like, okay, don't care. But then the spiders become important later. The whole C-3PO and R2-D2 thing with the little tiny people in the Clone Wars, that didn't add up to anything. And I thought, okay, this is definitely, and I don't like using this word much, but it was definitely filler. It didn't add much to C-3PO or R2-D2 because we already knew who they were and what they were about at that time. Holy crap. Is Crosshair going to be Dark Trooper Zero? That is a theory that I've had, and I am sticking to that. Everybody can say he is a Death Trooper all they want, but the Dark Trooper theory ties the Bad Batch into the Mandalorian and other Star Wars lore. And thank you, Brandon. You just hit over that $15 mark. So, bottoms up. Honey, if you're still out there, I'm sorry. Not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Here we go. All right. That one may slur my speech. But yes, the Dark Trooper theory, I had that one a little while ago. Dark Trooper Phase Zero, if you guys don't know what that is. The Dark Troopers are the ones that Mando and the rest of the Mandalorians were about to fight. Mando killed one, but they were about to fight him on Moff Gideon's ship in the end of season 2 of The Mandalorian. And the earlier iterations of it, they took older aging clones and turned them into these mindless drones that became Dark Trooper Phase Zero. Ultimately, that project didn't work out. So I think Crosshair is going to be one of the first iterations of that. Now, either Cody has escaped and he's off just hiding somewhere with, what's his name, Cut, or Cody's also becoming one of those Dark Troopers, and we may see that later because we only saw Cody in one episode, and we were told he left the Empire. Well, I don't think he left the Empire. I think he was drawn in and forced to do something he does not want to do. So yes, to answer your question in short form, yes, I think he is a Dark Trooper, or is going to be. And part of the reason that program is going to fail is because of Crosshair, because he's going to be sent out to find Omega, and eventually he's going to come to his senses. It was Ezra that found the Darksaber and then asked Sabine about it, Indiana. Indiana Holmes, are you from Indiana by any chance? Because I live pretty close to Indiana. And if you guys didn't know, I am in a tri-state region: Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana. I'm on the Kentucky side of it. I don't sound like a normal Kentuckian, I don't think, but that's because I've lived all over the world. I've lived in Germany twice. I've lived in Louisiana, California, Michigan. Oof, a lot of places. Um, my favorite was Germany by far. Berlin, Deutschland was my favorite. Kentucky, baby. Woo-hoo! From California, but currently live in England. Oh, that's awesome. And that's one of my bucket list things is to go to England. Because when I lived in Berlin, the wall was still up. We didn't do much traveling there because it was a pain in the arse. Or Arsch, if you're Deutsch. Deutsch. But crossing over from the free sector of Berlin into Eastern Germany and then to Western Germany, it was a pain in the butt. I mean, you had Russian guards and Stasi and East German guards just pointing their guns at you, waiting for your Papier. Um, from Kentucky. Oh, awesome, Noah. I love Kentucky. That this is where I settled when we came back. That's where my parents settled, and I stayed here too. I even joined the Navy for a while, and I still came back to Kentucky because it's a beautiful land. And Kentucky has so many different looks to it. Like where I live in northern Kentucky, there are hills, and you just call them that, just hills, rolling hills. But the further south you go, the more you get into a mountainous region. There's also out west, there are flatlands in Kentucky. I've been all over Kentucky. I love it. Eastern Kentucky is where you have the illegal moonshine and don't wander too far off a trail. From Berlin, born 1973. I still remember the wall. I have a piece of the wall upstairs, actually. Um, that's awesome. Was your father in the military? Didn't they cast someone as Thrawn? They did Ezra Bridger, and they have cast Thrawn from the rumors that I've heard. And I know I say I don't listen to rumors, but sometimes they show up on my Instagram feed or Twitter, and I can't help but see them. Thanks, assholes. Um, nah, I don't care. They can post their crap all they want. But I have heard they have casting, but there's been a couple of different speculations as to who's going to play him. One of them being Benedict Cumberbatch, who definitely said he was not going to be Thrawn. But then again, look at Ian McDermott saying he was not in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. I don't trust these guys. Anyways, um, there's gold in them there hills. No, there's no gold in Kentucky. You gotta go up to Alaska or California for that stuff. Uh, I think Thrawn ambushed the transport ship and rescued Gideon. I think so too. Like they said, that was a cover up that he escaped. He really got mind flayed and all this. No, I think he really did escape, and I think there was help. And I think it was Thrawn. And with Thrawn being as taken aback by Governor Price as he was, I think he's going to feel the same way about Gideon. Gideon, you screwed up. Um, you messed up my plan. I had a plan all along. You messed it up. So it's time to slap the crap out of you. Hey, Monty G, good to see you. Or Moni G, sorry. Yeah, we might have to extend this a little longer than the usual hour. Biggs Darklighter, aka Robin, if you're still in here, let's hear from you. What do you say? Should we extend this? There is a lot of coal in Kentucky, especially eastern Kentucky. That's where I used to go. Yeah, I'm going to sound like a murderer. I used to go deer hunting down there with my father and my grandmother back in the day when I was roughly 11, 12 years old. Um, there's also mountain lions down there. Nobody really knows that, but I've seen them and I've seen their tracks. And I didn't ever kill any deer, so my dad, he's this kind of guy who he's awesome. I love the man. He's this great white hunter, and he's not out at sea trying to catch Moby Dick or anything, but he likes going hunting, but he doesn't kill anything. He goes to look at them. He puts on his ghillie suit. He's ex-army. He puts on his ghillie suit. We take our rifles out, and we go, or we used to when I was a kid, and we just look at them. We wouldn't kill anything. We wouldn't shoot anything. And that wasn't disappointing at all, because it kind of breaks my heart to kill things. Everything has a soul to me. I know I sound like a huge, leftist, whatever, but there's nobody that loves nature more than a conservative. Indiana, yeah, I don't know how to answer that. I haven't heard from her either. I think she departed during the Andor series when I was hyping it up, talking about how much I loved it and everything. She really didn't like it. She hated the Andor series, and more power to her. I don't fault anybody that doesn't want to stick with my channel when I'm talking about things they don't like. Um, I'm not here to make anybody feel guilty for staying with my channel because I think they need to. They don't. I mean, you guys are free to come and go as you please. I'd like you to stay, but if I don't coincide with your own beliefs, then I understand. Um, and I get a lot of comments from somebody, you're stupid, and you're this and you're that. And come on, we're adults. We don't need to join in that internet toxicity. See all this gray here? I've earned that. And I've earned it by living through toxicity and having teenagers and all that stuff. Not that they're always toxic. Had a grandpa like that. He would always go hunting, but unless the family was hungry, he would never come back with anything. He just loved nature. Exactly. And that's what I do. I don't do that anymore. I do go into nature. I go hiking. My wife and I, anytime we go out of town, we find somewhere where we can go hiking. I don't take a gun with me on these hikes. I don't. And yes, I do own guns, but I don't take them. Usually I don't take them out of their safe place. But we just go hiking. We enjoy being in nature. She is more into it than I am, but I don't want to say I do it because she loves it. I do it because I love it. I love being in nature. I do get short-winded. I used to be a smoker, and it takes a little bit for me to hike up hills. I do get short-winded. You could probably hear that in some of my videos too, where I'm like, where I gasp. That's because I used to be a smoker, and it really messes with my breathing. That's a mistake. If any of you guys are smokers and you're young, stop now. Nothing good can come of it. I know it's an enjoyable hobby. I used to love smoking, but then the older I got, the more it hurt, and it sucks. I think I would love Idaho, fatherly fandom, not father, daddy. I'd love Idaho. Yeah, I have a buddy, whom I call White Doug, and I call him White Doug because he's not the Doug from The Hangover. He's a white Doug, and he looks a lot like the other Doug, but he's white. So I call him White Doug. It's nothing racist. It's just who he is. But he went to Montana, and in that time he went to Idaho as well, and it was just beautiful. I mean, doesn't Yellowstone National Park border Idaho as well? I know I'm getting way off topic of Star Wars topic. I sound like I'm from Canada. We're getting way off topic. Yeah, go Canucks. But he sent me some really cool pictures of Idaho. And one day that's my dream. I have heard that Casca Reeves will be back. Um, or Sasha Banks, whatever you want to call her. I've heard she is back. The first time we saw her in The Mandalorian Season 2, I wasn't all that impressed. The first meeting of her, because she just sat back like, And I was like, what are you, a rapper? What are you doing, the gangsta lean? Come on. I know a gangsta lean hasn't been a thing since probably 1991, but that's how outdated I am. Um, hey guys, you know what I want to do? Hey, if somebody guesses what I want to do, I'll do it. It's all connected to the sequels. It is, and I think it's going to change the way a lot of people look at the sequels. Now, let me explain my. I told you earlier, a lot of people are going to hate me for my views on the sequels. Um, and there's a reason for that, and it's because I don't hate them. I don't hate the sequels. I I know a lot of people do, but before you, I'm watching my subscriber count. I'm watching it before y'all unsubscribe to me. Here's the reason I like the sequels. It's the same reason I like A New Hope. A New Hope came out in 1977. I was 4.5 years old. I fell in love with Star Wars at that time. Absolutely fell crazy head over heels with Star Wars in 1977. Dawn, you can relate. Um, then the prequel trilogy came out in 1999. I was 26 years old. And I thought, okay, these are decent enough to call Star Wars. And then I fell into the prequel hate era where I was like, yeah, Jar Jar sucks, blah, 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 blah. But then I started thinking about it. I'm like, wait a minute, stop this. Stop this. Stop thinking the prequels suck just because you don't agree with some of the direction it went in. What would you have thought when you were 4.5 years old if the prequels came out then? And I thought, man, I'd love it just as much as I did in 1977 when I was 4.5 years old when I saw A New Hope. So then the sequels came out in 2015. And I mean, to me, The Force Awakens was just awesome. I got new Star Wars. And you know why? Because I carried that 4.5-year-old mindset over into the sequel trilogy. I didn't look at it as an adult. And no, I'm not slow. I'm not mentally handicapped or mentally handicapable. I am a realist. And I think, did I like A New Hope when I was 4.5 years old? Yes, I loved it. Would I have liked The Phantom Menace when I was 4.5 years old? Hell yeah, I would have liked it. There was a pod race. There was this dark demon named Darth Maul who was just out to get everybody. There was a princess in distress. There was all this stuff. Yeah, I would have loved the prequels in 1977 at 4.5 years old. Would I have loved The Phantom Menace, The Last Jedi, The Rise of Skywalker at 4.5 years old? Yes, I absolutely would have. And ask any 4.5-year-old to 10-year-old right now if they like the sequels, if they like Rey, Finn, Poe, Papa Palpatine coming back, any of that. And 90% of the time you're going to get, yes, they liked it. And that's going to carry with them throughout the rest of their life. They're going to love the sequels. Now, when they're my age or your age or whatever, when they see new Star Wars content come out long after I'm gone, they might say, that sucked. This isn't Star Wars. And that's what we get every generation. Yes, I will agree. Heart of Valor. I will agree with that. Disney needs to stop changing directors at mid-production. It only made every movie they do worse. Yes, taking Lord and Miller out of Solo was a bad mistake. Han Solo is a funny guy, and Lord and Miller are funny people. They deserved to make Han Solo a funny guy. Now, Kathleen Kennedy, I don't care for her. Her business strategy is not one that I would go with. Now, that's not saying I don't like the sequels, because she did not write the sequels. J.J. Abrams, Rian Johnson, and J.J. Abrams, Chris Terrio, all wrote the sequels. But Kathleen Kennedy did have her input and all that. And the lesbian kiss scene did feel a bit forced. I'm not against lesbian kiss scenes at all if they're natural. That just didn't feel natural. It felt like, hey, let's start a lesbian kiss scene, and it happened. But yes, when I was 4.5 years old, I would have loved any one of the sequel movies, and every one of them. And now, if you look back at the 1983 when Return of the Jedi came out, the adults during that time hated it. They hated the Ewoks. They hated The Empire Strikes Back. No way. Darth Vader cannot be Luke Skywalker's father. No way. And he was. And I don't know. I'm a big kid. My wife puts up with it. My kids put up with it. I try to raise kids as a kid. That just seems a little, a little superfluous. I need a drink of water. Whew, I'm knackered. Knackered. How do British say it? Indiana, is it knackered? The English, yes. London is one of my goals. Holy crap. All right, so this bottle was pretty heavy when I started. And since nobody's donating money, I'm going to preempt you all. We're going to talk for a little bit longer. I know I usually only do an hour, but I'm having fun. I haven't seen anybody leave as a subscriber yet because I said I like the sequels. And I think a lot of people forget that. A lot of people forget that you were a child when you started liking Star Wars, for the most part. Some people were adults at the time. And those people, I understand why you don't like the sequels. I do. But for people who were children when you started liking Star Wars, I don't understand why you don't like the sequels. Just carry the same mindset into it. You know, Star Wars is an unbelievable galaxy. George Lucas set it up that way. He set up Star Wars to be not physically possible in our own galaxy. And he said that. He said, I want this to be as physically impossible as can be. That's why we have TIE fighters screaming in space. You can't hear sound in space. That's why we have color in space. There's no colors, no atmosphere to refract the light. And there are so many things that are impossible in Star Wars, and we just nitpick one thing or another that we don't like. Is Rey a Mary Sue? Probably. But who cares? Anakin Skywalker blew up a giant ball at 10 years old and never had left the planet, never flown anything like that, and he did it. And Luke Skywalker blew up the Death Star, albeit with the help of Han Solo, but I mean, there's a lot of overpowered people. 26K. Yeah, okay, I'll do one more shot for the 26K. Guys, hang on, let me do this. Cheers. And this isn't a celebration of me by any means. This is a celebration of you guys, because without you guys, this at all would not have been possible. I'm so elated. Is that a real word? I think it's a real word. See, now you guys are starting to see my personality in my videos come out in live stream. I don't know if I'm using it in the right context, but I'm so elated in how this channel is going. It is far better than what I had originally seen. I thought I would get 100 subscribers, and that'd be it for 20 years. Oh, Purdue lost? Oh, dang. I'm sure Kentucky lost, too. So, I mean, we haven't done it. Yes, Jessica. Exactly. Right? See? Return of the Jedi. I've seen every Star Wars movie in the theater on opening day. And here is, first off, let me bottoms up it real quick. Oh, that might have been too big of a shot. Anyways, so another reason I don't hate the sequel trilogy is there's a little bit of family story behind that. In A New Hope, it was my mother, my sister, and I. Empire Strikes Back, it was my mother, my sister, and I. Return of the Jedi, my mother, my sister, my father, and I. And The Phantom Menace, it was my mother and me. And so on and so forth, all the way up to the sequels. Every Skywalker Saga movie I have seen in the theaters with my mother. She might be on here. She's one of the members of our channel, Bonnie Hepker, Hepker in English. Um, Celebration of my sponsor. Thank you, Indiana. But I've seen every Skywalker Saga movie with my mother on opening night. Uh, every single one. And if I hate a movie, then I hate the experience. And I hate the fact that my mother and I were there enjoying Star Wars together. I know that's kind of flawed logic on some people's thoughts pattern, but to me, it's not. To me, it means a lot. And in the last 7 years almost, my wife and I have been with my mother seeing these movies. Now I have a new generation I'm bringing into these movies, and even a third generation with my grandkids that are getting to see these movies. And my grandson, my little buddy, he loves coming into my room. He doesn't touch my stuff. He knows Opa's stuff. Yes, I go by Opa, the German word for grandpa. He doesn't touch any of my things, but he looks at it and he says, "What's that character? Who's that? Who's that?" And I tell him. Robert Diggler, I'm not denying your claim there that Grogu will be the Mandalore the Great. I'm not at all. I don't discredit anybody else's theories about what's going on. I present my theories. If you agree with it, cool. If you don't, cool. I'm good with that. I'm a humble person, and I know I am only a Star Wars fan, and I only know as much as you guys know. Yes, I've been trained in literature and stuff like that, and critical thinking as far as literature, but that doesn't mean I have insiders. I don't have insiders in Lucasfilm. All I do is I see the stories that are playing out, and I see how they're going to go. And sometimes I'm wrong. A lot of times I'm wrong, but sometimes I'm right. But even a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while, or a broken clock's right twice a day. And I understand that, and I try to stay humble with it. And I can agree with that, Bullet. The legacy characters of Top Gun were treated with so much respect. I mean, the way Val Kilmer's character was treated was just, the Iceman was just phenomenal. I saw Maverick and I thought, man, they did this guy right. And it kind of brought tears to my eyes because I know what Val Kilmer's been going through over the last several years. And I think, man, they did this guy. He did really good. I wish they would have done Han, Luke, Leia, and Chewbacca the same way. But at the same time, Top Gun is an adult movie. And that's the way I look at it. I look at Top Gun as, I went to see that as an adult when it originally came out, or close to an adult. And now I'm seeing it as an adult again. And so I'm viewing it with adult eyes. And Star Wars, I started as a 4.5-year-old. And I remember the day that came out. I remember the first time I seen the trailer with the Star Destroyer coming over the screen, and I was like, "Mom, we have to see that." I probably didn't say it that good because I was only 4.5. It was probably, "Mommy, we can go see that." And she said, "Yeah, nickname that I'm not mentioning, we can go see that." Yeah, Rian Johnson's work outside of Star Wars is amazing. I mean, Poker Face, Knives Out, the second Knives Out, brilliant stuff. But I'm not saying that The Last Jedi was bad, because I'm a 4.5-year-old again. And I know a lot of people won't agree with this, but Luke Skywalker did hold true to what he was in that movie. In A New Hope, he was a whiny brat. And The Empire Strikes Back, he was a whiny brat. "I can't lift the X-Wing out of the water." And Return of the Jedi, he was less of a whiny brat, but he still carried his emotions into that fight with Darth Vader. In The Last Jedi, he carried his emotions with him. He did great things in the Legends stories, and I'm not disagreeing with that. I think the Legends stories would have made amazing movies. I don't hate the Legends stuff, and it isn't that I take the Legends over the current canon. It's just what it is. But Luke Skywalker stayed true to his whininess. Yeah, I didn't like the Han Solo being turned into a deadbeat dad. I kind of was glad when he was killed. Because Harrison Ford hates Star Wars. If you guys didn't know that, Harrison Ford hates Star Wars. He doesn't like being talked to about it. He'd rather be talked to about Indiana Jones. He doesn't want to talk about Star Wars. You could talk to him about American Graffiti and he'll be happy about it. But I mean, that was a one movie he made like $6,000 off of. But he'd rather talk about that than Star Wars, the movie that made him famous. Anyways. Luke dated Pelimato. I'd like that. And I'm sorry I've missed a lot of you guys' comments. I do try to read all of them, but I've had a few shots. I don't think I'll be doing any more. All right, so I do want to reiterate one thing that I said in the beginning of the video. A lot of you guys weren't around for the beginning of the video. And what I said was that I'm being myself more in my regular videos. I'm not going to be that guy that just sits and reads off Wikipedia and makes a video trying to make money off you guys. That's not what I'm about to do. I want to entertain you. I want to be here to make you laugh, make you cry, make you. I don't want to make you cry. Wait, no, I kind of do. No, I don't. I don't want to make you cry. But I want to make you laugh. I want to make you guys think. I want to make you think about Star Wars. And my theories may not be right. They may not be wrong. But who cares? It's just a theory. It's not a speculation. It's not an expectation. If my theories are wrong, I'm not going to hate what they do in the talking. I'm just going to, or in the stories. Man, I've had way too many shots. Uh, All right, I got sidetracked. I was looking at Indiana Holmes' comment, and yes, I agree. The Mary Poppins thing. I thought, just a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. And I was like, oh my God, what's going on here? Why is she like that? Then I thought, Superman. And then, yeah, that part I didn't like. I wasn't too keen on the Canto Bite scene, but I did like DJ. I love Benicio del Toro. He's an amazing actor, and he did such a good job in that movie. Uh, and I thought, okay, if we didn't have The Last Jedi, we wouldn't get Benicio del Toro, who had his Imperial hat like sideways backwards, and he was like, he was cool. He was a cool character. How am I getting back upstairs? I don't know. I don't even have a handrail over there. So I'll probably be crawling. 2 hour stream. Well, we're an hour and 18 minutes into it. I don't know about 2 hours because I promised my son I would call him back shortly. Um, Can we get Tony Gilroy to produce more? Yes, please. Tony Gilroy, Bullet 33, welcome. And I'm sorry I haven't noticed you earlier. Get in the recliner. Yeah, no. That ain't going to happen. My head will start spinning and then you'll be bringing a bucket to me. Yes, please, Tony Gilroy. We need him involved in more Star Wars. I know a lot of people don't like Andor. They say it was boring. It was this, it was that. But Andor was an adult show, and it showed a lot of adult themes, and it brought me in as an adult, where the saga movies brought me in as a child. Andor brought me in as an adult, and I thought, man, we need more of this stuff, so I can balance myself. Use the Force, Gerald. Anyways, probably a 2 hour stream is not a good idea. You guys have seen way too much of me. And Fatherly Fandom, I definitely have my issues with the sequels, but it brought in new fans, and that's just fine by me. I'm having a hard time seeing here. I've got lots of stuff in Star Wars that I love, so everyone gets a piece of the pie. Yeah, and that's what it's about. It's about making people happy. I know the sequels have made a lot of people upset, and there are a lot of YouTubers that make a lot of money off you guys being upset. And I'm not going to name any names because that's not who I am. I don't do that. I don't call people out for their money making schemes. More power to them. They do what they do. They found a way to make a living. Cheers. Prost. And I cannot wait for season 2 of Andor as well. Andor is amazing. Um, it just, I would keep making Andor videos now and saying, wow, look at this character. Look at what they did. Look at this and look at that. But we're on to other things. It was so quick that the Bad Batch came out. Then the Mandalorian came out. And I wanted to talk about that stuff because Mandalorian, as you see by Jeff back here, is my main focus in Star Wars. Even more than the Jedi, the Sith, all that stuff. Because to me, that's just a good versus evil type thing. Where the Mandalorians, Jeff, are more of a grade line. They're more grayed out than what the Jedi and Sith are. They're good and they're bad all in the same person. And if we can expect Bo-Katan to be bad, well, yeah, she's a Mandalorian. Can we expect Djarin to be bad? Well, yeah, he's a Mandalorian. And if he's not going to be some kind of iteration of a bad guy, then he's not a real Mandalorian. Not in my eyes. I kind of see him as a do-gooder. And we're an hour and 21 minutes into this live stream. And I just want to let everybody know, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe. Hit that, well, you can't see what I'm pointing at, but hit the subscribe button. And please, please, this channel is amazing to me. This is so much better than I ever thought it would be. And it was great. Yes, Jessica, it sure was. And thank you, Bullet 33. And by the way, Bullet 33, you are the name of one of my favorite campgrounds and one of my favorite concerts ever. The Bullitt County Fairgrounds is where I saw Hank Williams Jr. for the only time, really, when I was about 11 years old. Amazing musician and singer. Andor was a great example of interesting psychology and political intrigue. Yes, it was. And a lot of people say, oh, it was boring. Well, it's because you didn't see lightsabers. I'm sorry you're simple. You didn't see lightsabers and blasters going off like crazy. I'm sorry that it takes those things to get you into Star Wars. It's just what it is. And guys, I have probably had too much to drink. Oh, let me see what Indiana Holmes is congratulating somebody. That's a rarity. Let me see what's going on here. Where's that comment at? I gotta scroll up a little bit. It was most definitely Star Wars. They're true-sighted. And I do try to get to all of your comments. Well, as much of your comments as I can. Hey, no problem. You guys are what makes this possible. It's not me. You guys take the time to make the comments. You guys take the time to tell me I'm wrong or tell me I'm right or whatever, congratulate me or tell me, you're stupid, dude. But you guys take the time to do that. The least I can do is take the time to read what you guys say and at least give a heart to it so you know that I read it and it wasn't just some jackass giving a thumbs up. Not that anybody here is jackasses. I don't think that. But that's the least I can do is appreciate you guys for taking your time to involve yourselves in my channel. And I'm so appreciative of that. Dawn, those are the ones I've left in the dirt. Tried to go back several times, but I don't come on YouTube for snark about the episodes, snark about the actors, being told I don't have a brain cell left. If I enjoyed something. Absolutely. And you should not feel guilty at all if you like something that somebody else doesn't. And Star Wars is becoming way too popular to discredit somebody for being a non-Star Wars fan because they like something that somebody else didn't. I'm sorry, fat nerd, but you need to get out your mama's basement and go get you some sun. This is the way. Heart of Valor. This is the way. And Star Wars is supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be this big think tank with big brains in it that say, this is what you're supposed to like. You're supposed to only like Luke Skywalker as this overpowered hero. You're supposed to only like Mandalorians if they do this. No, Star Wars is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be this fun adventure in space. Something we can't achieve in our own world. And that's what I love about it, because I can shift my mind into that other world and say, wow, look at what that guy / girl did. Thank you, Indiana. I know we don't always see eye to eye, buddy, but that's not what life's about. We don't always have to see eye to eye. My wife and I don't always see eye to eye, but we still love each other because we appreciate each other and we know what we bring to the table. I missed 10 of your comments. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Gothic Man. Let me scroll back there a little bit. What's your most important one? And I will get to it. Hopefully Skeleton Crew will bring a horror vibe to Star Wars. Yes, kind of like the old Death Trooper series or novel. I agree, Gothic Man. I'm sorry for missing your comment. As you can see, my eyes are drifting all over the damn place. Who's Old Head? Did I miss somebody? It is. It's all about the fun. And if you're not having fun with Star Wars, then maybe Star Wars is not for you. Maybe Star Wars is for, 4.5-year-olds like myself. I'm trying to read these things. Ready for Jude Law. Jude Law, ever since the movie Enemy at the Gates, I've been crazy about Jude Law's acting. I thought, Enemy at the Gates was probably not the best World War II movie ever made, but Jude Law made it believable. Him and Ed Harris. And I thought, man, this guy. And now he's coming to Star Wars? Holy crap. That's awesome. A lot of people could say what they want about Kathleen Kennedy, about the way she runs Star Wars, about the way she does things. But there has been more good come out of Star Wars than bad. The Mandalorian, Andor, Season 7 of the Clone Wars, Rebels. And she hasn't had any kind of writing skills in any of that. Anyways, I need a drink. Hey, thank you, Erkan Tezi. Did I say that right? Erkan Tezi? I'm sorry, I'm not real good with pronunciations. Star Wars Politics. Man, I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back. Hey, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I miss Quill too. He was a cool character, and who doesn't love Nick Nolte's drunk ass and stuff? Oh, Old Head's a term of endearment. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Excuse me, I got to cough a little bit. All right, I probably do have to wrap this up here soon. Omega's not annoying. No, Omega's not annoying me at all. What's annoying me is that they're not getting into her character a little bit more than they should. She's the Omega, where Boba Fett is the Alpha, Alpha, Omega, and beginning and end of the Greek alphabet. And they're not getting into that anymore. And we're 13 episodes in, and it's a little bit disappointing. But I am still in the it's fun entertainment category. Now would be a good time to insert ads. What are you telling me, YouTube? Shut up. I don't want to put ads in this. All right, so now we have 181 votes. 181, that's a lot. How do you like the Bad Batch so far? Right now in the lead is It's Fun Entertainment with 52%. It's Amazing with 35%. It Sucks Kawaki and Monkey Lizard with 7%. And The Bad What with 6%. And I am in the It's Fun Entertainment category. Whew. All right. So, guys, this was a celebration of Star Wars Fanatic and of you guys, you fans, you amazing people that made this work. You Star Wars fans who think positivity in the Star Wars universe is more important than any kind of negativity, criticism, critique. Critiquing is fine. Criticism is a different thing. Critiquing something is saying, okay, I would have done this a little bit better, but this was good. You give the positive with the bad. A little bit of a compliment sandwich. But criticizing is only putting out the bad and making Ahmed Best try to commit suicide. Making Hayden Christensen, that's the way you pronounce it, Christensen, for all you YouTubers who keep saying Christensen, it's Christensen. And of you that said Hayden Christensen should stop acting, and he did. That needs to stop. Star Wars needs to be a positive place. If you don't agree with something, don't watch it. Don't talk about it. Don't look at it. I hate broccoli. My wife hears me talk about it all the time. I hate broccoli. But I don't go on YouTube channels that promote broccoli and say, broccoli sucks. I hate broccoli. You should kill yourself for liking broccoli. I don't do that. I don't. Because it's bad. It's wrong. And I know a lot of these are bots that say this stuff, but we're a fandom. We love this franchise. That's why you're here. That's why you're interacting with each other here. And yes, poor adult Jake Lloyd. The guy has gone through so much because of what he went through as a child, as a 9-year-old playing Anakin Skywalker. So many people said, you need to kill yourself. And Kelly Marie Tran, who's been forced off of social media because she was bullied into it because of so many people hating on her character. So what? Rose only had about, 10 minutes of screen time? The movie was 2.5 hours long. Look at something else. Anyways. Ban of salt broccoli. Yeah, Daniel Logan was liked. I'd like to see a pre-Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett with Daniel Logan playing him. So, anyways, that's my take on it. Star Wars is supposed to be fun. And that's what this channel is going to be. This channel is going to be fun. And I'm going to do more jokes. My intros are going to be long. Why? Because I like making jokes. Because I like talking. I like talking to you guys about this stuff. If I make a Young Frankenstein reference, so what? I'm sorry I wasted 4 minutes of your time. Shoot me. Anyways, I've had way too much to drink. I really need to shut up now and end this stream. But before I go, there's a quick word from my sponsor. And that's me. And that's also Agenda the Sin Yoga, who's sitting upstairs probably watching this saying, you've drank way too much. Thank you all so much for everything you've contributed to this channel. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I mean it from my soul. I love talking about Star Wars, and I'm glad so many people are willing to listen to me talk about Star Wars. I do sponsor my own channel. I have had other sponsors. As you can see, there's a painting back there of one of my sponsors who sent me. It's from moviepalette.com. They do little strips of lines. That's the Empire Strikes Back, if you guys didn't know. I've also had another sponsor with a controller that I use for gaming. Yeah, I game. I'm a 50-year-old gamer. That sucks. It's kind of funny, actually. But, anyways, if you haven't done so yet, please, please hit that subscribe button. Join me on this journey because this is going to be the best Star Wars channel ever. I'm not going to talk negative about Star Wars. I won't do it. I will give my critiques, but I will not give criticisms. I will not hate on actors. I will not hate on directors, writers, or any of that. Kathleen Kennedy, yeah, I'm not going to say anything about her because she's broccoli. But hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Join me on this journey because I want all of you there. We're going to do these live streams. We're going to do member streams. We're going to do member videos and all that. I really appreciate you all. And there's been so much support in this, and I just feel overwhelmed. But I'm ready for the journey. So subscribe, like, comment, share, tell everybody, this guy's dope. I said dope. Anyways, but where you at, man? Where'd you go? I'm looking for a certain comment here. Fatherly Fandom, please email me. My email address is in the About section of my channel. We'll hook up. Okay, not Netflix hookup type thing, but we'll get together. We'll figure out a live stream, and we'll give these fans something they want. We're going to boost your channel. You're another positive Star Wars fan, and that's downright badass to me. So let's do that. Just email me, and I'll email you back. And any one of you want to email me and talk about Star Wars? I talk about a lot of Star Wars with a lot of fans through my email. So just send me an email. We'll talk about it. All right. So I appreciate you all so much. Hit the subscribe, like, and share. And leave a comment. Thank you all so much for being here. And thank you for joining me in this celebration and listening to my drunk ass talk about Star Wars. I know I didn't hit all the topics I wanted to, but this is for you guys. Thank you. Wait a minute. There's something I'm supposed to say. Oh, yeah. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate you. This is Gerald. I am a Star Wars fanatic, and I'm signing off. Wishing you all great health, happiness, and peace. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you all for watching. And remember, this is the way. And positivity in the Star Wars family